popular that I've been seeing a lot of is timelines. So I feel like I'm kind of biased because I told you I needed to be married by 30, but I'll see like even the reality shows that we watch or something, they'll be like, I need to be married by next year or I'm out.
Yeah.
That's tough.
See, for me, I never understood those things. So what you're telling me is, if I don't fully commit to you by this date, you're willing to leave me forever. So that's what I don't understand. So how much do you really want to be with me forever? How much do you really love me that you
See,
can
that's a
live?
double-edged sword, though.
So what you're telling me is you can really live without me over a deadline.
Well, I feel like it's double. All right, so I feel like there's like, it could make sense if you guys are together for like 8 to 10 years and there's no commitment. I can understand putting a deadline. Like, why have I been good enough to be your girlfriend for 8 to 10 years?
Especially if I know that's what you want.
Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. In the instance of like it being like super long term and they knew you wanted to get married and they're not committing past like 8 years, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Not have a ring after 8 years. Why am I good enough to be your girlfriend and not your wife? That's how I would feel.
Especially if you guys don't have the understanding of, we're just going to be together and be like a common law, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Unless that was agreed upon from the beginning.
Partners. Yeah. And, we don't necessarily have to get legally married for whatever reason. And this is what you guys, are into.
But if you
what
knew,
you guys want. But if you know the other person wants that, then yeah,
to push them along for that long is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I would have left you if you had made me wait 8 to 10 years. I would have left you too.
But again,
and I love the crap out of you.
But if you're with somebody for 10 years, and that person says, you know what, it's been 10 years, and we need to get married on an 11th year anniversary.
I'm sure. Well, that's the thing.
Or I'm done with this.
Yes,
y'all been together for
that
10
makes
years,
sense. Because that makes sense. Like, all right. So again, I'm sure throughout the 8 years she's mentioned it multiple times. And you knew that was the goal for one person. But, again, why am I good enough to be your girlfriend? Why am I not good enough to be your wife?
I get it. I understand it.
Especially after that long. Like, all this time, what's the excuse?
Yeah, and if the guy has no intentions of leaving and going nowhere and you are fully intending on staying with that person, then, do it for her because, that's what you guys, that's what it is. Yeah. But
the timelines on the short relationships don't make sense.
It's just hard for me to wrap my head around saying, be with me forever by this time or never be with me again. Like how much do you really love me? Like how much?
Like I said, it's kind of
so what you're saying, you can kind of like live without me. I mean, so to say,
and what you're pretty much saying to me,
if I don't have a certain title.
Yes, because
I can live without you. I need that title to live.
What a woman is saying is, since you don't see me as that title, or I'm not good enough to make that title, then I'm going to find someone who does appreciate me and sees me that way. Because
I get it.
If you, like I said, at the 8 to 10 years, I would expect I'd be pissed. Like, why the fuck haven't you done it already? But in the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year relationships, they're like, oh, if you don't propose to me by this time, that's when I'm like,
Yeah,
because I feel like
behind that, but
I get
both. I mean, I get both sides. I understand it to a certain extent, but it's just hard for me to wrap my head around.
Like if you would have dated me, and like I said, 8 years down the road, I'd be like, all right, so what's going on? Because I'm not okay with just being a girlfriend. If you don't see my value,
how about my life partner?
You knew from the beginning I wasn't okay with that, though. See, that's what I'm saying. I vocalized my shit day one. Like, listen, honey, I need to be married by 30.
Life partner is not going to work for you?
Life partner isn't enough for me. Because why am I not enough? Why are you so afraid to marry me if we're supposed to be together for life?
I don't want to get the people involved in our relationship. I don't want to get the folks involved.
Mm-hmm. See, this is that fear of commitment. Because I feel like if I didn't push marriage, you wouldn't have pushed marriage either.
I'm not saying that. No, I don't think so.
I think so. I think that if I didn't like come in hot and heavy with my marriage views, I don't think you would propose to me as soon. I feel like... I don't know.
We can't necessarily say that.
I feel like because you knew how important it was to me, you did it. But I don't...
Partially, but I don't think...
know.
But I mean, that didn't like rush me to do it either. Like it didn't influence me on on the opposite spectrum too,
Mm-hmm.
like to do it faster because if I wasn't ready to do it, if I felt like I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'll let you know why, and then hopefully we can come to some conclusion of
How to meet in the middle and compromise.
yeah, and hopefully like you know,
That would have been a tough choice
too,
for me.
like,
If you didn't want to ever get married, that would have been a huge choice for me.
but you would know that from the gate, like 'cause we talked about that day
Yeah.
one, like before we even was like talking about
When we
us
were still
actually being
friends.
together. Exactly.
Yeah, where
So
but you had made it clear you didn't really have a view on marriage. You weren't like rushing to do it, and you weren't against it either.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it was like nerve wracking for me a little bit because I'm like,
Yeah, no,
is he afraid of commitment?
no.
But no, you're not. Hopefully.
And that goes with uh, level of maturity,
Mhm.
and um, being in multiple long term relationships. That's number one, and
Mhm.
then being single enough to to know what's out there. So
Having enough experience.
so for me, I think I've actually done enough to explore commitment. The one thing we actually forgot and left out that men are very commitment. If men are scared to get cheated on, all right. So
Men are scared to get cheated on, or
yeah,
men are scared of.
men are terrified to get cheated on. Men are like women take getting cheated on a little bit more gracefully
Women take
than
getting cheated on way better than men handle it. I've seen
that's what I'm saying.
men be like, "Oh, I'm done.
So,
I'm gonna off
yeah,
myself. Like
yeah,
I can't do this. How could
this is what I'm saying.
yo
So if a man gets cheated on early on in his relationship quest, and he gets cheated on early, it might traumatize him real bad for a long for
yeah
a very very long time.
yeah."
Compared to women, women take it a little bit more easier. I don't know what's the science behind that.
I don't
Maybe
think that it's fair to say we take it easier. I
for
feel like
the most part as a whole. You know what
no,
I'm saying? I think as a
that's
whole,
not fair either because getting cheated on sucks.
it's terrible.
Getting
It's horrible.
disappointed
I'm
on,
not
but then
saying
you end up loving that person so much that you end up staying with them hoping that they could be better. Men, I feel like it's incomprehensible to imagine their girl having sex with another man, but at the same time they could be cheating the whole relationship, but all of a sudden the girl cheat, and it's like,
yeah.
oh my
That's
god,
what I'm saying. So
how could you do this, you stupid bitch? Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill
Yo,
my mama.
it'd be like the nerve.
Yo, so that's another thing. Like, yeah, once men get traumatized when it comes to cheating, or even like witness a person that he knows get cheated on, or so
Yeah. Even a
men,
tiny heartbreak can ruin commitment for a
yeah,
man.
yeah. So the fear of getting cheated on is really big
Mm.
when it comes to men's,
Men's fear of commitment.
to throwing the pot of the fear of commitment for men.
Yeah.
Getting cheated on and is huge.
I think men, a big one too, is like them feeling like they're losing who they are. Like I could see like a man getting married and being nervous that like they're not gonna be able to go out and have fun anymore,
Yeah,
or
I
their
won't be
girls
able to.
switching up.
I won't be able to play my game as
Yeah,
much
like
as I
they
used to
feel
play.
right, and I feel like as women that we need to be very like conscious of that. I feel like when you get married, don't change and become more strict
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that can push away a man. Or if you're already like super like you need to be home by 10 o'clock. You need to answer all my phone calls. You need to do, which is very respectful. But if you are nagging someone all the time, they're not going to want to commit because they're going to feel like it's going to get worse if they do commit. And
yeah.
I think if you get married and they're choosing to be with you and commit to you for the rest of their life, you have to be okay with kind of letting them still live their life. Go out with their friends if they want to and not like blowing them up or like being too attached, because that's what I feel like a lot of men are afraid of is losing their sense of like it is freedom, but like their sense of independence.
Well, what makes them them? Like the actual things that they need in their life, actually that makes them feel like them.
Yeah.
You can't go into somebody's life knowing that they do these certain things, and in back of your mind, you're like, I hate when they do that. I hate when they go canoeing. I hate when they go whitewater rafting. As soon as we get married, I'm going to shut that down.
Right.
You can't think like that. You know what I'm saying? So if they're doing stuff that you can't deal with,
yeah,
that's a deal
vocalize it
breaker for you,
early.
and you don't want to have no part of that. You can't see yourself doing that for the long term in your future. Then you probably shouldn't be with that person because you gotta let them be them. Or if you can't, if you're not gonna be a part of it and contribute to it, to just stay out of it and let them do it and go have their time with that little activity that that they can't leave without. And you should know your partner well enough to know what these things are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get with people and don't really know them well enough
Yeah.
to understand what they're getting into with being with that person forever. You
Mhm.
know, you can be like, this person loves golf or has to go play golf, and or certain it could be any kind of thing, or they have to go hang with these people at this amount of time, or every year in January, this person goes to this function, with these people, and that's they've been doing every year for whoever knows how long, and you
Right.
either got to be a part of that or let them continue to do that thing. You can't shut it down and make them feel like I'm not myself
They're locked
anymore. Like
down. Yeah.
you took a part of them from them,
Yeah,
and
I
that
think people
just
still should have an identity. If you're married or you're trying to be married and you're trying to build a relationship with somebody, I feel like it's so important to keep your identity.
mm,
Like like you said, was it I full mooned you? I lunar
just
eclipsed
a
you.
total eclipse.
I total eclipsed you, but I still have my sense of me and who I am because I'm gonna be
Yeah,
me out in public with you. I've like taken certain traits of yours, and obviously with somebody every day, you take their lingo, you become like them, but there's still a sense of I'm me through and through. I'm
mm,
gonna act like me in public, and I'm not gonna change it for nobody. But I feel like some partners kind of change that person along the way. Like they'll do
yeah,
like little things like I don't like when you do this in public. I don't like when you act like
yeah,
this. I don't like when you dress like this. So there's like so many little things that they're trying to change about themselves, and that could push somebody to not want to commit to you
mm,
because it's like, I feel like I'm not making this person happy enough all the time. I constantly have to change things. Like you mean
yeah.
it can cause a lot of doubt.
And it could be like, you can see the walls closing in. You might have gave up some things that
Yeah.
you was really into before. Like, oh, I like to go off roading or four wheeling, and this person like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't like going to do that. Now you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, that I feel like
Now,
that could subconsciously cause someone to not commit
yeah,
as soon as you want.
She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, that's what I thought. A penny for your thoughts, a nickel for your kiss. Grab a dandelion and make a wish. She loves me, she loves me not. She loves me, that's what I thought.